Hello everyone and welcome back to more Bloons on the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. As usual, we're going to hop right into some gameplay against Blizzard once again. So basically what we did was we did a micro challenge and then we did a best of 3. So we're going to go ahead and show all those, I'm going to go ahead and show all those games for you guys in this episode. So let's hop right into them. So basically, getting into this micro challenge, before we actually did this, I didn't know what a micro challenge was. But basically, all it is that you can only use one tower, not one type of tower, just one tower by itself. So like for example, if it was like type of tower, then you could just use a bunch of subs. But since it is just one tower, you only use one tower, not just a type of tower, if that makes sense. So basically, if you have radioactive sub and you got rushed with ceramics, then you would have to sell your sub and get up. Like the towers we have, you'd have to get up a ground zero, just wipe them out, and then get back up a sub, or you'd have to get a first strike up and then wipe them out and then get back up a radioactive sub. And you also cannot send any balloons toward your opponent when doing a micro challenge. It's just against AI. Um, so yeah, this was actually a blast. This is the first time I've ever done a micro challenge. So it was a lot of fun. I was a little nervous going into it, obviously, because I've never done it before. So I didn't know I knew like most of what the rules were, but I was a little nervous that I wouldn't. That like part of me was like and also, like, when I got halfway through the game, I didn't know if you could actually rush your opponent, but I kind of just figured that out myself because Blizzard did not rush me at all. So, I mean, I kind of figured that you don't rush in micro challenge, but we did do Bonanza as well, just so that when we need to do micro, we didn't want money to get in the way of that, or like when you do a micro challenge. If you don't have enough money, then it's not really a micro challenge. It's just not having enough money challenge. That didn't make any sense, but um, like if you go to micro and if you get rushed by ceramics, you go to micro, get a ground zero or a first strike, and you don't have enough money to afford those things, then like you microed it well, but you couldn't afford it. So that is why we did do Bonanza, so that by the time we needed to actually do some micro, we could actually afford the towers that we needed to use. Um, when doing this, I actually messed up a few times. What I mean by that is, like, we tried to get into this match on this map a few times, but the first and second time I messed up both of them, because when making the lobby, um, I made the lobby and he told me to ban all of the towers except for Ninja, Buccaneer, Ace, and Sub. Which was a good decision because all those towers can like because Ninja can slow down, so then you can have time to get up one of the other powers. Buccaneer is you can get Destroyer, so you can take out ceramics and stuff. Ground Zero just wipes the screen, as well as First Strike ability. So and going into this game, so yeah, I was a little nervous, as I did say before. Um, These towers, I didn't really know why he specifically chose those towers at first, but then later on I did figure it out, mainly for the reasons that I just explained. Um, Basically because each tower can kind of solo. Um, but you have to play a map. But this is such a good map for micro challenge because you can use radioactive sub, um, and that can solo for quite a while until you need to actually start microing. Because the radioactive sub, if you are not sent any balloons by your opponents, can last you until round 21. But on round 22, ceramics come your way. Natural ceramics do. So radioactive sub in the micro challenge and in general can you can survive with a radioactive sub until round 21, and then round 22 ceramics do come. So that's when the real micro starts, when round 22 comes along. Um, but basically, when the ceramics came, all I was kind of planning on doing was kind of watching what Blizzard did and then kind of copy that. Um, but he didn't like. Here, you guys will see it when it comes up. I don't want to ruin what happens. Um, but We did also do a best of 3 after this. We were planning on doing 3 micro challenge games, but then the game after this, the next map I picked, you can't even use for a micro challenge because it was actually swamp. But you can't use one tower on that map to defend pinks. Like you could maybe use a destroyer, but a destroyer still can't defend pinks. Especially on that map because that map's not very good for Buccaneers, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm fairly sure. We tried one destroyer on that map and it could not defend pinks, nor could a Bloon Jitsu. So we couldn't use that map for micro challenge, which is exactly why we went into best of 3 after this. But I'm glad we did get in one best of 3 because this is the first time I've ever done it and I really wanted to do it, and it was a blast. So I'm hoping to do it more in the future. I'm surprised the radioactive sub could pop these balloons, like zebras and regen zebras and whites. I didn't know a radioactive sub could pop those things, but I guess it can. And this map is really good for radioactive sub, just because it has so much time to actually pop the balloons. But something else that I also noticed while playing this was that my radioactive sub is in a different position than his is. And I'm fairly sure it's because the sub was positioned that way before I turn it into radioactive. So that was kind of something weird that I kind of realized while I was playing. So that like when you get the radioactive sub upgrade, it freezes your sub in whatever position it was before you got that upgrade, which is, I mean, I probably could have switched it back, but I didn't want to risk balloons getting through, and I didn't want to die just because I was switching the target on the sub. So I just kind of kept it. It didn't make any difference in the popping power or anything like that. So I didn't think I needed to change it at all. But it is coming close to round 22. Before this game, I did not know when the ceramics actually, like the natural ceramics actually came. But as you can see, we both have over $330,000. And our eco is 20K each, quickly building up. So but this is what you need for the micro challenge. That if any balloons came our way, we had plenty of money to micro with. And the reason you don't send to the opponent is because you want as much money as possible to actually use to micro and build different towers and stuff like that. So this is the round where the ceramics do come through. I was a little nervous, so I was kind of watching what he would do. And they got very far on the map, and he still didn't do anything. So I went ahead and sold my farm, got up a Monkey Ace, got up a Ground Zero, used the Ground Zero, and Blizzard does end up dying to those ceramics. That Spike Storm just wasn't enough to take them out. I thought it would be, but it wasn't. So good game to Blizzard, and we're going to hop right into our best of 3. Okay, so we are back with our best of 3. This is the first game of our best of 3. I don't know why I just said that so many times. But we are both going with, I believe I've played on this map a couple times, with some other, I don't know. Did I play on this? I don't know if I played on this map with some of you guys or not. But I try to switch up the maps every time I play with a different person so that it's not too repetitive. Because I use the same strategies, so I don't want to use the same maps because that would just be like double times boring, if that makes any sense at all. I didn't want to make it even more boring with using the same maps with the same strategies. Which in this next game after this, I was actually pretty happy. Like in the game, because I ended up using a strategy that I don't usually use. And I didn't even care if I did bad with the strategy. I just wanted to start using different strategies so it would make these videos more entertaining, so I didn't just keep using the same strategies over and over and over and over. So I try to switch up the maps and switch up the strategies just to make it way better than it was. Because I'm sure it does get boring just watching the same strategy and the same maps over and over and over. Which is also why I want to start uploading new games so that the Bloons City Battles content doesn't get too boring, because I just keep using the same stuff, and yeah, so I don't want that to happen. So we sent a few blues because I thought it would do some damage to Blizzard, which it kind of did. It forced up some upgrades, which was the quad dart, so I did stop sending, sorry. But I did keep sending just to just to see if it would do anything else, but it wouldn't. And we did force up an ice tower. That ice tower didn't do that much. I mean, it did a decent amount though, so it was just enough to actually stop that rush. Um, but the thing I didn't realize at the time was I didn't know, which is something I also need to pay more attention to, is that I did not know what strategy Blizzard went with. Like I thought, since he put down farms and then he put down the ice tower, I thought he went with heli pallet, ice farm. But he actually didn't, and he went with heli ninja ice, and then he got farm as the fourth, which is actually a really good fourth with that strategy. I don't know if he like calculated for because something I've seen like other people do is that like when it comes to the fourth tower, you can calculate like what time you click to randomize, and you can get certain towers based on when you click. I don't know if Blizzard did that. I mean, I would love to do that because that's kind of cool. I mean, yeah, that is pretty cool. Because then you get four towers. I don't know. I don't know if he did that. Not that it's a problem or anything. I just really want to know how to do that because it's pretty cool. So Blizzard, if you are listening, did you like click to get the click at the right time to randomize for the farm, or did it just kind of happen? Um, I mean, I'm not like upset or triggered or anything that you got that as a fourth tower. I'm just it sounds pretty cool to actually know when to click to get that tower. So that's kind of all I'm wondering. And again, I'm not like upset or anything that he got that as a fourth tower. I'm just kind of wondering if he did or not. Because that'd be pretty cool. But also, we did get a pretty good fourth tower as well, which was the tack shooter. I didn't realize at the time because I wasn't paying attention to it. I was kind of just paying attention more to the game than like what I got as a fourth tower. I should have paid attention to that. I also should have paid attention to what Blizzard's towers were as well. Because at this point I still thought he went with heli pallet ice farm because I wasn't paying attention to what towers he put down. But ooh, I just realized also he has 465 farmers. Wow. Okay. Um, it would have been cool if he had 469 because then we both have 69 farmers. That'd be kind of cool. But so we are behind in farms. By about one plantation, as you can see. Something I also realized, I think someone left this comment on my video, and I think I said this in the previous video, but when you place a farm, if you go straight to a plantation, does it not give you extras if you just go straight to a plantation with that one farm on round like 1 or 2, or if you just get it straight to a plantation before you get more farms? I'm not really sure kind of about that thing. Like, is it better to just get more 1-0 farms and then go for plantation, or like does it matter what round or anything like that? I don't know, but if hopefully that made sense. But Blizzard does go ahead and get up a BIA, so I try to kind of copy that and get up one myself as well, because if he starts to get more money and I can afford the exact same thing he does, I kind of I want to make sure I don't get too behind in farms. And round 18 is a pretty good round to get up a BIA. I wasn't trying to like copy him or anything like that. I was just trying to make sure that he didn't get a severe advantage. So that's why I did copy him with the BIA, so that he did not get a very big advantage over me in the game. So in a way, I was kind of copying him. But this is also why I like playing you guys, because the reason I don't try like to obviously directly copy what my opponent's doing, because I went with a different strategy and stuff like that, but I tried to kind of look at what my opponent does and then kind of mimic that sometimes, or slightly. I don't want to like directly copy, because then that won't make the game very fun for either of us. I tried to kind of see and kind of learn off of what my opponent does. And since Blizzard is a very good opponent, he has like over 17 million medallions, and I have 140,000. So this is also why I'm trying to kind of like mimic what he does, so I can get better at the game as well. I'm not trying to copy, or I'm not trying to like say, well, he has way more Dalians, so this is an unfair game. I'm not saying anything like that. Um, or I don't mean to say it that way. I just kind of want to learn off of what he does since he's a much better opponent than I am. Um, so yeah, just to clear that up. Um, he does go with a few more heli pellets than we do. Wait, what am I saying? That didn't make any sense. He does go with a few more heli pellets. He finally gets up his Arctic Wind. And Arctic Wind is so good with heli pellets because heli pellets I believe, can pop ice balloons with razor rotors. We did have to glue storm that because I was a little scared by that rush. There was a lot of ceramics there. I just didn't want to lose to the AI there. But the ice tower heli pellet is a pretty good strategy. The only thing that the Arctic Wind is weak to is zebras and whites, which I actually lost a few games a while ago. Not to Blizzard, but to online opponents, other online opponents, because I did not know that the Arctic Wind cannot. I thought the Arctic Wind could stop any balloon, apart from like obviously Moabs and BFBs and stuff like that. But he does go ahead and Moab boost a BFB our way. I just go ahead and throw down a sabotage supply lines, slow that thing down, and to start popping up some balloon jitsus. What I'm thinking I should have done at the time was just pop up a few phoenixes, but I think those balloon jitsus would have done more damage. And then we do go ahead and sell the BIA without collecting from it, and make the biggest noobish mistake I could have ever made. That was just such a bad mistake by me. And then I get up another BIA on round 24. Like, after that, it kind of just fell apart. I have a Republic, he has a factory, and a BIA. At this point, it's GG. We're not making any money. We have more eco, but he has way more money. It was just a very bad mistake on my part. So well played to Blizzard. He made me kind of freak out, and then I did try to all out him here, but he just spike stormed it and got up an Apache. So he would have defended it with the Apache alone, but he spike stormed it just to make sure, which I probably would have done as well, just to kind of make sure that nothing happened with that rush. But at this point, it is GG. We have no money. We all outed, and yeah. So we have 300 more eco, but he has way more farms than we do, and we just don't have the farms and everything like that to keep up. So at this point, I'm kind of just trying to get better at my micro. I glue storm it again, get up a tornado wizard. He goes ahead and send us 3 Oh My Gods, 4 Oh My Gods even, and a few BFBs, and there's absolutely nothing we can do against these. So at this point, I'm kind of just trying to practice my micro, to be honest. Like, I throw down some tornado wizards, throw down some balloon jitsus, and stuff like that. So Blizzard does end up winning the first game of our best of 3. Well played to him. And we'll hop right back into the second match. Okay, so hopping right back into the second game of the best of 3. I'm going to get my mouse off the screen so that doesn't annoy anyone, because that kind of annoys me. So this map is interesting, and the reason I picked this map is it was kind of to prevent, because Blizzard for the past few games has used heli palette, so I picked a mainly water map for me and him actually, because this gave me a chance to use a new strategy, and this was a map I don't usually play on. So now I am going Blue Nico, and it also forces Blizzard and me to switch up our strategies a bit, which is the reason I kind of picked this map. So we were both forced to kind of use new strategies. So it wasn't anything against Blizzard on using his strategy or anything like that. I just wanted to pick this map just so we both could have a chance to use new strategies and make this best of 3 a little more interesting. Instead of just using the same strategies over and over. Because I would have used like probably Ninja, Wizard, and Farm. But now I'm not using Farm, as you can see, and I'm going with Ninja Ice Sub, which is a very good late game strategy. Blizzard ends up going with Sub. I didn't know Buccaneer was his 4th again. Or not again. But that was an interesting combo. Bionic Boomer and... Ooh, wow. That's a really good combo, actually. Bionic Boomerang, Sub, and Farm. Sub and Boomerang, I didn't even realize how good of a strategy that is, actually. because the sub can just turn everything. It can just turn camos into regular balloons, and then the boomerang can just finish them off. I didn't even realize that before. Wow. See, this is also why I love playing with you guys, because you guys can teach me new strategies that I don't already know. Because I didn't know boomerang and sub was a strategy. So that's kind of crazy. Now to think about it, it's a pretty good strategy. So well played to Blizzard. I never knew about that strategy. So basically, I just completely missed. How do I say this? Like mismarked how much money I needed for submarine. So I mean, I got a submarine, obviously, but it's not like a radioactive sub. Which is what I was trying to say, but I couldn't find the words. So I kind of miscalculated how much money I had for the radioactive sub. So I sold all my subs and I had enough money for it. But then I realized that I had to spend some of that money upgrading it before I could get to the radioactive sub. So that was something that I did kind of mess up a bit, which I need to get better at in the future. I just didn't calculate all of the things that I would have to be spending. But I have yet to see his. He's hiding his boomerang, which I'm assuming he's hiding his boomerang from me. Just for rushes like that, so he can kind of bait those rushes from me, which was a very good play on his part if he was actually trying to do that. Which I'm assuming, because he didn't have his boomerang out till like round 10, so I'm assuming he kind of popped that out. He kind of like waited for me to do a bit of an expensive rush and then pop that out and take out that rush. I'm assuming anyway. But he does go ahead and get up his radioactive sub, which can defend any rush I decide to send to him. And then he gets back up a Buccaneer, probably just to clean up the balloons that might get through. So like, what I'm assuming that Buccaneer was for, just in case I did go all out him or something like that, he could just get up a Destroyer along with that radioactive sub, and those two could take apart that rush pretty well. So at this point, I still wasn't really paying attention to his towers, which is something I really need to get better at, paying attention to what towers my opponent has, so I knew what rushes would be most effective towards them. But I need to actually. I think I'm gonna try that strategy in future episodes. He does go ahead and send some camo ceramics, and I just don't react fast enough to defend these. And he does go ahead and take me out with that rush. I say a lot, but that'll go ahead and do it for our best of 3 as well as the micro challenge. That was an absolute blast playing with Blizzard. So I hope you guys did enjoy that video. Thank you so much, Blizzard, for playing me once again. If anyone else would like to play with me, just let me know in the comment section below, and I will get to your comment as soon as possible. And I would love to set up a game with each and everyone that would like to play. So I'm trying to think of everything else I would like to say. I don't think there is anything though. But if you guys have any video ideas on like challenges or something I could do in Bloons City Battles, I still have a few more games, or I still have a few more best of 3s that are recorded, ready to be uploaded in the next couple days. But if you guys would like me to do like challenges, I'm gonna try out some new strategies as well. It'll be more fun to just kind of try out and spread my. What am I trying to say? That doesn't make any sense. Origin? No. Spread out kind of the strategies that I would like to use, or the strategies that I use in general, as well as the maps. I'll probably try new maps and new strategies. So hope you guys did enjoy this video. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see all you beautiful people in the next episode.